What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you guys today with a little bit of commentary about the upcoming Halo 5. Now, I didn't get a chance to talk about this yet, but we did get to see Halo 5 a little bit at E3 this past week. So that was some. We got to see some pretty cool stuff with that, I thought, and very interesting things that are coming with Halo 5. There's some innovative changes it seems like they are going to be making to the overall makeup of the Halo series, the game is in general. And there's a couple, of course, little controversial things possibly because it is 343. So let's just kind of talk about what we got to see. At E3 they did show some gameplay demo, and the gameplay looked pretty good. It looked the graphics look really good. They look very updated from both Halo 4 and the Master Chief Collection. There were some. I was really not that impressed with Master Chief Collection, considering it was supposed to be for next gen, and really I didn't think the graphics were that good for next gen, even though they were updated. So we got to see some good stuff there, and definitely a game looks good in terms of graphics. So that shouldn't be a problem. The environments look really cool. There's some destructible environments in there. Some in multiple different ways you can play each level. So very cool looking game, at least cosmetically. So that was definitely something neat to see. Now, we didn't get to see much gameplay in terms of the actual teams and everything. We did see mostly Spartan Locke's team, which has, thankfully, Buck is actually back in this game from ODST, so that's going to be pretty cool to see how that works out. Really excited to see Buck back in the Halo games, and especially since he's going to be a Spartan now, which is pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of the Spartan 4s. That was one of the big things I didn't like about Halo 4. Was not a big fan of the Spartan 4s. I just did not like the way they portrayed them. The Spartans throughout all of Halo have been this really stoic, kind of awesome, badass sort of soldier. And then in Halo 4, they decided we're just going to make the Spartan 4s like a bunch of college frat boys, and they acted like idiots. I couldn't stand really any of them. They were very annoying. So now we're going to have. That's one of the reasons I'm really not a huge Spartan Locke fan to begin with, because first off, he's a Spartan 4, and then secondly, I just really didn't care for his character at all in the TV series that they did with Halo Nightfall. So a couple of reasons why I'm not really excited to see him and have to play as him, and that's just one thing. But it's kind of cool that Buck is in there, and he's going to be a Spartan 4, because he was pretty badass as an ODST, and if anybody's going to be cool as a Spartan 4, it'd definitely be Buck. So that is some pretty cool stuff there. Now, apparently the way the game is going to work is you are going to play the squad-based combat now. You will be in a 4-man fire team. You'll be able to order around your fire team. If you're with Locke, you're in fire team Osiris. If you're with Chief, you're going to play with blue team, which is actually also pretty cool because that's Chief and all his old buddies from before Halo Reach. If you guys read the books, then you'll remember Kelly and Linda and Fred. They're teaming up with Chief again. They were all pretty covered pretty extensively in the Halo books and the Halo lore, so definitely kind of cool that we're going to get to see some of Chief's teammates from prior to most of the Halo series. That's going to be pretty awesome. And you can switch. You don't have to play as Master Chief or Spartan Locke. You can switch between the different people on each team. They all have different weapon loadouts and different abilities, apparently, which I haven't seen too much on, but I still think that's a pretty neat little thing. That is actually something I had talked about in a video I did a while back, where I was talking about how they really need to 343 needs to innovate Halo a little bit, but they don't need to do anything super drastic. Just kind of be a little innovative, and I think the squad combat is going to do that. It looked in the gameplay they showed, it looked really smooth. It looked pretty good. When you gave a command, it seemed like they went and took care of it. The AI didn't seem too bad. It is going to be interesting to see how the AI handles driving the Warthog, because I did see that I've read that you can command your squad mates to drive the Warthog while you use the gun in the back. So we all know the AI in Halo has had a terrible time when it comes to driving the Warthog. So it's going to be interesting to see if they've fixed that for this Halo. But overall, the gameplay looked pretty decent. I was pretty surprised. It looked pretty good. I'm not getting super hyped up yet, because obviously I'm not going to be pre-ordering this game, and we know what 343's track record is so far with Halo, so there's no reason to run out and pre-order this game. We're not going to get super hyped up yet, but saw some good things at E3. Now moving on to a couple other things that we want to kind of interesting about this game is the PvP. It seems like it's going to be kind of a mixed bag, at least in my opinion for me. Now, I know they've done a lot of things. They've gone back to the typical Halo format where you start off the game with your pistol and your assault rifle, and you're going to have to go find weapons on the battlefield. That was a big complaint from Halo 4, and now they are going back to the old way. There's going to be power weapons on the map you can find. Still, I played the beta for the multiplayer, and I got to be honest, I just, like I've said a couple times, I did not care for it. Didn't think it was that great, and I know all the Halo, every game has got its, I guess we'll just call them fanboys. And I've seen people say this over and over again about Halo 5 Guardians, about the multiplayer. They've basically said, it's not Call of Duty, it's not Titanfall. I completely disagree. I played, from the little bit I played of the beta, I felt like I was playing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, variant of Halo. I felt like I was playing, it had a lot of the same things that Call of Duty and Titanfall put into it. And, you can, it's not identical to it, of course, and that's obviously just my opinion, so don't take that as, verbatim. But for the people to sit there and say that it's nothing at all like those games, I really disagree with them, and I think they're just being a little bit of fanboys there when they say that, because it's like I said, there are definitely some aspects of those games in Halo 5. It's definitely one of those, they've got a couple things they either borrowed from, or they're still trying to kind of, toe that line between a mainstream first-person shooter PvP game and what Halo used to be. And I think that's one of the reasons I kind of don't like Halo multiplayer much anymore, is because they've just varied so much from the formula that made Halo really good in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, that having been said, that Warzone mode looks absolutely ridiculously awesome. And if you guys didn't see it, what Warzone mode is basically is you drop in with a team of Spartans, and it's PvP. You're going up against another team of Spartans, but at the same time, they're going to be dropping in PvE enemies, Prometheans and Covenant, and I'm hoping the Flood are going to make a return in Halo 5. I just hope they are, because that's another thing that's kind of been missing, I guess, from 343's Halos, is the Flood. The Flood were just this amazing enemy group in Halo. They've always been such a great enemy group in this game, and I think it's kind of missing. The Prometheans didn't really feel all that great to me, but it looks like they've all been given kind of some new reskins for this game. They got some new models, and I'm sure we'll see some new versions of them. But basically, like I said, Warzone, you're going to be in there fighting against other people in PvP, but you're also going to have the PvE guys coming in and trying to kill you. So I think that is going to be absolute fun. It looked like an absolute blast from what they showed on at E3 from the PvP demo. So definitely some cool stuff there with that. And it reminded me, honestly, a lot of, like I was talking about Titanfall earlier, it reminded me a little bit of the mechanics in Titanfall, because Titanfall was a game where you went in, and I believe in most of the game modes, from what little I played of Titanfall, you actually fought against, it was PvP, you fought against other players, but at the same time you also went in there and you had bots and you had PvE enemies that were in the actual multiplayer map that you could kill for points. And so what that did is, if you weren't a really good player in terms of PvP, in terms of getting a lot of kills and having a high KD, you could go over there and actually you could kill bots, you could kill the PvE enemies and help your team out and score more points to help your team in the match. So it looks like Warzone is going to be similar to that, and you're also going to be able to use abilities and special packs and cards and things. And that's going to bring me to another point we're going to talk about here, is there are going to be microtransactions in Halo 5. That was confirmed. 343 did an article they're talking about. They're going to have requisition packs that you can use in PvP. Now, before anybody gets all bent out of shape, I've seen a lot of overreaction on the internet about this, because basically people are just seeing microtransactions and they're just foaming at the mouth and getting really upset. I'm the first to tell you, I don't like any kind of stuff like that in a game. I don't like microtransactions. I'm not a huge DLC fan unless it's great DLC that enhances a game. I'm really not a big fan of a lot of that stuff, but I have read pretty much all the information that's out there on the microtransactions for Halo 5. Basically what it's going to be is there's going to be these requisition packs that you will be able to use in the Warzone mode. And what they will do is they unlock new weapons, they unlock cosmetic upgrades for your armor and things. They give you cards you can use in Warzone to call in better versions of your weapons, or get weapon upgrades and things like that. you know, get warthogs, calling vehicles. Now, the thing is, these are only going to be usable in the Warzone part of the game. They're not going to be anything you can use in actual PvP when you're going up against other players, and that's it. So they are not. It's not a pay-to-win feature, as a lot of people are trying to call it. I've seen that all over the place. It's not something you can do to get an advantage in normal PvP and you know, make yourself better. And you can, of course, buy them to get, you know, to unlock more stuff if you want to in the Warzone. But you are going to unlock them normally throughout the course of the game, whether or not you get credits you can spend when you level up. You get requisition packs, and you'll be able to buy them with in-game currency or in-game points that you're gonna earn while playing the game. So to me, that seems a little bit like Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3's RNG loot store that they had, where basically, you know, you earn credits as you play through the multiplayer, and you can, you know, exchange those credits for packs that give you more guns and more weapons that you use in the game. They give you, you know, ammunition abilities and armor abilities and other things. And that's what it kind of seems like to me, is how these requisition packs are going to work. It seems like that is going to be kind of the same system. And in Mass Effect 3, you could, if you wanted to, you could purchase more packs, but you didn't have to. And it was pretty easy to earn credits to buy new weapons and things. So I think if people are overreacting quite a bit. And of course, you know, it's also kind of a bold move on 343's part, because obviously they've had so many problems with Halo so far, that for them to put microtransactions in, it's a pretty ballsy move, and I got to think they wouldn't put in something that's going to be really bad, because they have already got enough negative publicity with Halo. So I don't think they're going to put something in that is just going to make it pay to win, because that would really get them a lot of negative feedback, a lot of bad criticism and reviews. So I don't think they're that stupid at this point, given how many issues they've had with the Master Chief Collection and with Halo 4. So I think let's just wait and see, guys. Don't overreact. Don't get all bent out of shape because you hear microtransactions. I think it actually might be halfway decent. I don't think it's going to be a pay-to-win situation. So I'm going to wait and see. We'll see what that turns out to be. So that's pretty much it. You know, I think there's a lot of good things with Halo 5 that we can sort of look forward to here. Now, again, like I said, I'm not pre-ordering Halo 5. I'm not going to buy it on day one. I'm going to definitely wait for reviews, because my number one concern, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now, is will 343 be able to finally have a smooth launch with this game? That has been their number one biggest problem so far. We obviously all know Master Chief Collection was an absolute disaster when it launched in terms of being able to play PvP. Even stuff in the campaign didn't work right. It wasn't awarding, you know, the right, what do you call them? The trophies. The trophies and things weren't unlocking properly, and it wasn't awarding people. Like, there were some people who were doing the, you know, beat legendary with all the skulls on mode, and they weren't getting credit for it because the game was bugged out in terms of awarding achievements. So that's definitely something we want to wait and see. Is 343 going to be able to have a smooth launch? Because that's something that has completely plagued them. The multiplayer in Master Chief Collection was completely unplayable for several months, actually. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this game at launch. I've seen a lot of their people talking in the gaming magazines and the gaming forums and everywhere, and I think they know they've got to pull this off pretty awesomely. So it's going to be, like I said, interesting to see how they're able to do it and how the game launches. That's one of the main reasons I'm going to wait and see with this game. I like a lot of the stuff I've seen so far, and I'm actually somewhat optimistic that they're going to get back to having Halo being a great game again. But again, it's 343. We've just had so many problems with them. It's going to be difficult to trust them right now. And it's going to be difficult to really get super excited for the game. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully it's a great game, and it'll allow us to get back into the Halo series, because I would love more than anything to have a new first-person shooter game that I can get excited about after all the lackluster releases that have been coming out the last couple of years. Just recycled Call of Duty over and over again. You know, Destiny being a huge letdown. We definitely need a first-person shooter to get excited about again. And if it can be Halo, then it can be Halo. And like I said, that Warzone mode looks really awesome. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So we will see, guys. Anyways, let me know your thoughts below. I know a lot of the Halo veterans are really not looking forward to Halo because a lot of 343 they've burned a lot of bridges. They have definitely ruined a few things and ruined their reputation a little bit, and a lot of people aren't going to come back. But we'll see. I'm remaining patiently optimistic. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. It's been TechnoViking23 coming to you with some Halo 5 commentary. Let me know what you guys think about Halo 5, if you're excited for the game, if you think it looks good, and leave your comments below. Hope to hear from you guys and get your thoughts. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you're having a great day, and I will see you again next time.